Hello everyone, welcome back to East Coast Taekwondo. I'm Casey Mazereski, another training tip for you. Today we're going to talk about situational awareness. Now, situational awareness is not something that you're born with. It's just like any other skill. You can develop it and improve it and get better at it over time. In fact, usually most people start off not being very good at it and then they get better at it. So, as a martial artist, situational awareness is something you should start developing, because a good part of self-defense is not getting into an altercation to begin with. So situational awareness can be, if you're out somewhere and you see someone who is starting to get agitated, maybe you're at a restaurant and someone down the way at another table is getting agitated and starting to yelling, and he's starting to inflame the situation. I'm not saying necessarily you need to go in there and diffuse it. That's not your job. But maybe if you're with your wife and your family, it's time to start thinking about removing yourself from that situation altogether, as opposed to being oblivious to it, and now that guy gets really upset and a fight starts out, or maybe a weapon is pulled, and now you're in a position where you and your family can be in danger. It's better to just avoid it altogether. Situational awareness could be when you're parking at a shopping mall. You make sure you park somewhere where it's well lit and visible and there's other people around, as opposed to parking somewhere in the parking lot where it's dark and isolated, because that can be something that leads to a bigger problem down the road. If a predator was looking to ambush you, he would pick the dark and isolated place over the well lit and well populated spot, the parking lot. Situational awareness could be you're coming into a building and right away you start looking around, where are the exits? For a host of reasons, any type of emergency, I want to know where the exits are. I go into a building, if I go into a restaurant, to a mall, I want to know where the exits are, what's the fastest way to get out. If there's a fire, if there's some kind of terrorist attack, if there's some kind of disaster. You could be at an amusement park and a ride collapses or something. There's all sorts of disasters that can happen that aren't man-made, and there's all sorts of disasters that can happen that are man-made. You really should know the exits and how to get out, regardless of which one strikes. Situational awareness could be sizing up an opponent. Where does he look like he's most likely weak? Where does he look like if he's got big, strong pecs, I don't want to throw blows to his chest. I'm going to aim for somewhere else. It's going to cause more damage. Situational awareness can be that, you're reading someone. Situational awareness could be you're pulling up to whatever establishment and there's some 3 or 4 people, or maybe just one person, doesn't look right, doesn't look like he's up to any good. Situational awareness is that I'm going to keep an eye on that guy, or I'm going to remove myself from the situation altogether. If I'm at a convenience store and I see someone standing outside that just doesn't give me a good feeling, I'm going to get out of there. Situational awareness can be aware of your surroundings. What's around me? What can I trip over? What can be a hazard to me? What can be a benefit to me? If I was to get into a fight, what can I use as a weapon? What can I use as a shield? Is there a table that I can keep between me and the attacker? Is there an item I can pick up to help me as a weapon, whether it's a stick or a rod or a fork or a knife or a plate or even a salt or pepper shaker? How can I use the items around me? Are there any obstacles I need to be aware of? Is there a curb here? Are there stairs over there or steps? Is there a railing? Am I going to get boxed in if I go this way as opposed to that way? Is there 2 solid walls? Situational awareness can be, what can I hide behind? If someone came into this room with a gun, where can I go for cover and concealment? And do I know the difference between cover and concealment? Concealment will hide me, but bullets can pass through. Cover will not only hide me, but bullets can't pass through. So things like your regular door or a regular sheetrock wall, you can hide behind that, but that's just concealment. Rounds will penetrate that. But a brick chimney, a concrete staircase, a concrete wall. Here in New England, we got a lot of BFRs and BFTs, big blank tree or big blank rock. You can fill in the blank yourself. But if you see a big tree or a big rock, you can hide behind that. That's great concealment and cover. That will stop the rounds. So being aware of your surroundings, all it takes is whenever you go to someplace, just take 1 or 2 seconds and just look around. If you just take a second to look around and scan your surroundings, you'll be surprised how much your brain can take in and how much you can think about. I can do this, I can do that, I can go this way, I can go that way. I don't want to go this way, I don't want to go that way. Those are all things that will be important in a bad situation. Whether it's a mugging, whether it's an attack, whether it's a fire, whether it's a disaster. So work on your situational awareness. Wherever you are, wherever you go, try to always be aware of your surroundings. Remember, my father, Grandmaster Mazereski, used to use the line to me and my brother as we were growing up. We used to think it was maybe a little cliche and cheesy, but it's so good and translates to so many aspects of life. A true ninja is a master of his environment. So have that mindset. You're the master of your environment. You know everything that's around and what's around and what could be a hazard to you and what can be a benefit to you. I'm Casey Mazereski. That's our training tip. If you enjoyed this video, please click like. If you have any questions or comments, please put them below. Also make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, please subscribe to our channel and check out all of our training tips. And if you're ever in the Fairfield, Connecticut area, come check out East Coast Taekwondo in person. Thank you for watching.